Good morning, students. We will continue with our lesson. Lesson number 5, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. In the previous period, we have learned about the vegetation of Brazil, the different types of forests found in Brazil, and the types of plantation trees grown in Brazil. Now, today we will learn about India's forest and vegetation. Before starting, we will first revise about what is natural vegetation. Plants that grow naturally without the interference of man. The plants that grow naturally without any help of man, without any help of human being, adapt themselves to the limitation of the natural environment. They adapt themselves to the limitation of the natural environment. As per the natural environment they receive, they grow. And left undisturbed by humans for a long time is called natural vegetation. And they are left undisturbed. They are not disturbed by any of the human beings while they grow for a long time. Is called as natural vegetation. Such type of vegetation we find in forest, mostly in forest, because in the cities or in our gardens, when we plant the trees, or in garden, there are various trees, but that are not kept away from the human. Some or the other way, human beings disturb that plant. Sometimes the gardener plants the water the plant. So this is the interference of man in the growth of that plant. So that is not natural vegetation, but the natural vegetation is the vegetation that the plants grow naturally without the interference of man, adapt themselves to the limitation of the natural environment, and left undisturbed by humans for a long time is called natural vegetation. So the vegetation which is totally dependent on nature, in natural condition, in natural atmosphere, is called as natural vegetation. The natural growth of plants, shrubs, trees, shrubs, creeper, and grass in a region is known as forest. When the trees grow naturally in a particular region or a particular area, various type of trees are there and they grow naturally. No human being go and look for the trees, for the forest, or plant the trees in the forest or in that particular area, because various trees are there. As for the favorable atmosphere, climate that plant gets, it grows in that particular area. So the natural growth of a plant, different types of plants are there, such as shrubs, plants, trees, shrubs, creepers, and grass in a region is known as forest. Forests are the natural habitat of animal and birds. Forests are the natural habitat of animals and birds because it is a home for animals and birds. Forest is a free place where animals and birds can live. So that is the natural habitat of animals and birds. They help in maintaining the balance of the environment. So forest, animals, birds, these all help in maintaining the balance of the environment, and the environment balance is very much important. So what is forest? The natural growth of plants, shrubs, trees, shrubs, creepers, and grass in a region is known as forest. Forests are the natural habitat of animals and birds. They help in maintaining the balance of the environment. The growth of natural vegetation depends on two important factors: sunlight and rainfall. As we all know, that plants need sunlight and rainfall to grow. But in natural vegetation, what happens? Two most important factors is sunlight and rainfall. Because in the gardens or if in the farming, when we plant the trees, we put fertilizers, pesticides to save the plant or for proper growth of the plant. But in forest, it does not happen. Plants has to grow depending on the two factors, sunlight and rainfall. Topography, climate, and soil also affect vegetation. Climate, soil, and the topography of that particular region affect the vegetation. Density of trees and type of vegetation, forest change according to the changes in these factors, climate, density of the trees and the type of vegetation grown or the forest change according to these changes in these factors of the climate. As per the climate, plants grow in particular region. As per the density of the trees, the forest type. So these are the factors related to the forest which changes as per the climate. Depending upon the vegetation and types of forest, type of wildlife also differ. As per the vegetation is there and then different types of forests are there. As per that, wildlife is also different according to the forest and the animals. As per the animals, they also need a proper and comfortable type of environment. So as per the forest, that animal is found in that particular forest. So the natural vegetation means plants that grow naturally without the interference of man, adapt themselves to the limitation of natural environment, and left undisturbed by humans for a long time is called natural vegetation. The natural growth of plants, shrubs, trees, creepers, and grass in a region is known as forest. Forests are the natural habitat of animals and birds. They help in maintaining the balance of the environment. The growth of natural vegetation depends on two factors, sunlight and rainfall. Topography, climate, and soil also affect vegetation. Density of trees and type of vegetation, forest change according to the change in this factor, climate. Depending on the vegetation and type of forest, types of wildlife also differ. So this is about the revision we have done about the natural vegetation and forest. In the last period, we have seen about the Brazil vegetation, the different types of forest in Brazil, and why Brazil is called the lungs of the world. Brazil is called the lungs of the world because of the evergreen rainforest in Brazil. There is a large amount of oxygen that is released in the environment. This helps to reduce carbon dioxide level. Therefore, these rainforests are rightly called the lungs of the world because in Brazil, evergreen rainforest trees are in a large quantity in that area. Rainfall is more, so trees grow in a proper condition. So large amount of oxygen, because of more trees, there is large amount of oxygen in the air that is released in the environment, and it helps to reduce carbon dioxide level. So this is the main reason why Brazil is called the lungs of the world. The types of forest in Brazil is equatorial forest, evergreen forest, and tropical green forest. Tropical grasslands are also found in Brazil. Temperate grasslands are also there in Brazil. Swampy lands, hot deciduous forests, and thorny shrubs. These are the different types found in Brazil. Now we have seen in the last period about the Brazil vegetation, major forest types, equatorial forest, tropical grassland, swampy land, hot deciduous forest, thorny shrubs, and temperate grassland. The reason for variation in rainfall in Brazil is because of the physiographic division of Brazil. Because of the different physiographic division, there is variation in rainfall in Brazil. Types of forest in region where it rains throughout the year is evergreen rainforest of Brazil. This is the type of forest in region where it rains throughout the year is evergreen rainforest of Brazil. Types of forest in region where it rains during certain season. It has rainfall very certainly. That area have the type of forest such as grasses, short shrubs, thorny vegetation. Largest number of vegetation species found in Brazil. Trees found in Brazil are pau-Brazil, rubber, mahogany, rosewood, and orchid. Rainforest of Brazil are known as lungs of the world. Now today we will start with the major types of forest in India. There are also 5 major types of forest in India. Evergreen Forest, deciduous forest, thorny shrubs, Himalaya Forest, and coastal forest. These are the 5 major types of forests in India. Evergreen Forest, deciduous forest, thorny shrubs, Himalayan forest, and coastal forest. Now, one by one, we will study about each of the forests of India. Evergreen Forest. It's also called as tropical rainforest. The map is given. Green color is used in the map. A different shade of green color is also shown. The dark green color shows the heavy rainfall. The light green color is the medium. And the other colors are also used for showing the amount of rainfall in that particular area. So as per the rainfall, there is difference in forests in India. Occur in regions that receives an average of more than 2000 mm of rainfall and plenty of sunlight. 2000 mm of rainfall and plenty of sunlight is the main reason for a proper forest to grow, for proper plants to grow. 12% of India is covered with this forest. 12% of India is covered with the evergreen forest or tropical rain forest. These forests are very thick. These forests are very thick, means there are more trees. Large quantities, large number of trees are there, so it is called as thick forest. Their wood is solid, heavy, and durable. The wood we get from the trees of the evergreen forest or tropical rainforest are very strong, that is solid, heavy, and durable. It is of good quality wood get from this plant. Maximum biodiversity is found in this forest. Biodiversity such as many varieties of plants, animals, and microorganisms are seen together in a region. There are various types of different types of plants, animals, small microorganisms found seen in this forest. So maximum biodiversity is found in this type of forest. These trees have leaves in all seasons, hence they are called evergreen forest. Why these trees and this forest is called evergreen forest? Because in all the seasons the trees have leaves. Green colorful leaves trees have in all the seasons. It does not shed its leaves. So this forest is known as evergreen forest. So the evergreen forest occur in a region that receives an average of more than 2000 mm of rainfall and plenty of sunlight. So the forest in that place where it is having the rainfall of 2000 mm of rainfall and plenty of sunlight for the growth of the plants and trees. In India, 12% is covered with the evergreen forest. 12% area is covered with the evergreen forest. These forests are very thick. These forests are very thick, means there are large quantity, large number of trees in this particular area. So it's very thick. Their wood and the wood is get from the evergreen forest is solid, heavy, and durable. It is a very good kind. Maximum diversity is found in these factors, such as many varieties of plants, animals, microorganisms are seen together in this region. These trees have leaves in all the seasons, so they are called as evergreen forest. In all the seasons, the trees have full leaves, dark green color leaves. It does not shed in any of the season, so it's called as evergreen forest. The location of evergreen forest is Western Ghat and the western coast. Evergreen forests are found. Part of West Bengal and Orissa, and the northeastern state and Andaman and Nicobar Island have such vegetation. In this place, this type of forest is found, Evergreen Forest. It is found in Western Ghats and Western Coast, part of West Bengal and Orissa, the northeastern state, and the Andaman and Nicobar Island have such which this is about the evergreen forest, the tropical rainforest in India. A region that receives an average of more than 2000 mm of rainfall and plenty of sunlight. 12% of India is covered with this forest. These are very, their wood is solid and durable. Biodiversity is found in this forest. Biodiversity means many varieties of plants, animals, and microorganisms are lived together in a region. These trees have leaves in all seasons, hence they are called evergreen. And the location of evergreen forest in India is Western Ghats and the western coast, part of West Bengal and Orissa, the northeastern states, and the Andaman and Nicobar Island have such type of vegetation in India. These are the trees found in India's evergreen forest. Mostly these trees found as mahogany, rubber, and rosewood. Rubber tree, mahogany, and rosewood. And the wood get from this tree is very strong, durable. It is of very good quality, solid. Deciduous forest. So in India, deciduous forests are found in the area where there is rainfall of 1000 mm to 2000 mm. The area or the region where rainfall is 1000 mm to 2000 mm, deciduous forests are found. They shed their leaves in summer to reduce loss of water through transpiration. So in summer season, what this leaf do? All the trees, they shed their leaves in summer season. Why? Because to reduce the loss of water through transpiration. So in summer, the season is too hot. Because of that hot summer, to reduce the loss of water through transpiration, these trees shed their leaves. Evergreen forest, what is the difference we have learned? These trees do not shed their leaves. Whole year, in the every season, it has lots of green color leaves. But in deciduous forest, we have seen the trees shed their leaves in summer to reduce loss of water through transpiration. This cover around 64% of the total forested area of India. So this forest in India, it covers near about 64% of the total forested area of India. In India, the area under deciduous forest is larger than any other forest. In India, we can see the area under the deciduous forest is very large as per compared to the other type of forest. So deciduous forests are in large number in large area in India. Also called monsoon forest. These forests are also called as monsoon forest. So this is about the deciduous forest. The rainfall should be 1000 mm to 2000 mm. They shed their leaves in summer to reduce loss of water through transpiration. This cover about 64% of total forested area of India. In India, the area under deciduous forest is larger than any other forest. And these forests are also called as monsoon forest. Now location. Where these deciduous forests are found in India. Found mainly in the eastern part of India, like the northeastern state, along the foothill of Himalayas, Jharkhand, West Orissa, and Chhattisgarh, on the eastern slope of the Western Ghats, rainer part of the peninsula plateau, and the plains of Bihar and western Uttar Pradesh. So, deciduous forest, we have seen about nearly 64% of total forest area of India is under deciduous forest, and it covers the largest forest area in India than any other forest. So, it is mainly and mostly found in various regions, such as it is mainly found in the eastern part of India, like the northeastern state, along the foothill of the Himalayas, Jharkhand, West Orissa, and Chhattisgarh. On the eastern slope of the Western Ghats, rainer part of the Peninsula Plateau, and the plains of Bihar and the western Uttar Pradesh. The types of trees found here are banyan, peepal, teak, and bamboo. These are the type of trees found in the deciduous forest. Mostly these trees are found, such as banyan, peepal, teak, and bamboo. So this is about the deciduous forest of India. These are the trees: teak, peepal, bamboo, and banyan. These trees found in the deciduous forest of India. So deciduous forests are found in the area where there is rainfall of 1000 mm to 2000 mm. They shed their leaves in summer to reduce loss of the water through transpiration. This cover around 64% of the total forested area of India. In India, the area under deciduous forest is larger than any other forest, also called monsoon forest, and the location it is found mainly in the eastern part of India, like the northeastern state, along the foothills of the Himalayas, Jharkhand, West Orissa, and Chhattisgarh, on the eastern slope of the Western Ghats, inner part of the Peninsula Plateau, and the plains of Bihar and western Uttar Pradesh. The types of trees found here are banyan, peepal, teak, bamboo. These are the type of trees: teak, peepal, bamboo, and banyan, found in deciduous forest. Now, thorny shrubs. This type of trees forests are also found in India. For thorny shrub forest, the rainfall is less than 500 mm and having dry long summer. Thorny shrubs means we can imagine how the plants are there. The thorny plants are grown in this region. Why? Because of dry climate, low rainfall, hot summer season for a long time. So, and the rainfall is less. So, the thorny shrubs rainfall is less than 500 mm and having dry long summers. Due to intense heat, evaporation increases. Due to intense heat means the heat is and the temperature is very high. The evaporation increases rapidly. So in order to reduce this, the leaves of the trees are small, thorny, or waxy. So to reduce the evaporation, the trees have waxy, it is small, and the leaves of the trees are also small or thorns on it. Some have thick stem that store water. Their roots go deep down in search of water. So what these plants do for growing, it needs water. But due to the climate, due to the surrounding climate, very intense heat, evaporation is going on rapidly. So the dry summers, what happens? The stem of the plants that store water, and the root of the plant that go deep down inside the ground in the search of water. So these thorny shrubs are found in the area where there is less than 500 mm of rainfall and having dry long summers. Due to intense heat, evaporation increases. In order to reduce this, the leaves of these trees are small, thorny, or waxy. Some have thick stems that store water. Their roots go deep down in search of water. And the location, this forest cover rain shadow areas on the Indian plateau, as also some part of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Punjab, and Haryana. As we all know, Rajasthan is a desert place. And in Gujarat, Punjab, Haryana also, where the climate or the temperature is very high in the area, having less rainfall areas, this type of forests are found. So the location where thorny shrubs in India are found in the rain shadow areas. Rain shadow areas means the rain areas where it is very less rainfall. So that area is called as rain shadow areas. And that is on the Indian plateaus, the rain shadow areas on the Indian plateaus, as also some part of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Punjab, and Haryana. So thorny shrubs are found in the rainfall less than 500 mm and having dry long summers. Due to intense heat, evaporation increases. In order to reduce this, the leaves of the trees are small, thorny, and waxy. Some have thick stem that store water. Their roots go deep down in search of water. And the location found, these forests are found in the rain shadow area on the Indian plateau, as also some part of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Punjab, and Haryana. So these are the examples of the plants, the thorny plants, grows in the hot desert region or in the area of very less rainfall. These plants need less water or it can grow in the hot desert region, such as aloe vera, agave, acacia, flowers and leaves of care plant is stone, and kejri. These are the plants mostly grown in the region where there is less rainfall. So these are the plants grown in the thorny, comes under the thorny shrubs forest. Acacia, aloe vera, agave, care, and kejri. Now coastal forest. They are also known as tidal forests. These forests are also known as tidal forests. They are found in marshy, swampy estuaries and lagoons near the coastline and creeks where the climate is humid and the soil is saline. So these are the forests found mostly in the area where the place is very wet, marshy place. It's always wet, swampy estuaries and lagoons, which have which soil has very large quantity of water capacity to hold the soil. The land is too wet. So in this type, these coastal forests are found near the mostly near the coastline areas. So they are found in marshes, swampy estuaries, and lagoons near the coastlines and creeks, where the climate is also very humid and the soil is saline. The vegetation here is known as mangroves or sundarbans in India. So the vegetation grown in this type of forest in India, it is known as mangroves or sundarbans. The forests have developed in lowlands, they lands that get flooded and submerged under salty waters during high tides. So the forests have developed in lowlands. These are the forests, coastal areas, forests So these are grown in the lowlands. So the lands get flooded. So what happens due to the water flowing capacity of the sea or a river or other sources of the water? The land gets flooded and submerged under salty water during high tides, and that gets submerged under the salty water during the high tide. So the level of the water also increases and it gets flooded in this place due to the lowland. Muds and silt get accumulated on such coasts. So the mud and the silt that get accumulated on such coast, it is called Sundarbans. After the Sundari, the trees that grows abundantly in this region. So what happens? All the mud and the silt that is get collected and accumulated on the such type of coast, and the trees grown in that place. So the trees grown abundantly in that region. The wood of these plants are oily, light, and durable. The wood, as per the climate, we can imagine about the trees also, how the trees grown in that particular coastal forest. So the wood from that plant get is oily, light, and durable. The roots of these plants are submerged under water, and the roots of these plants are submerged under water because why? Because it is a coastal forest. The land is very marshy, swampy. It holds very much water under the ground. It's wet land. The climate is also humid. So the roots of these plants are submerged under water. Hollow roots grow out vertically above water so that they can breathe. The hollow roots grow out vertically above water so that they can breathe. So the root of the plant is mostly coming in vertical direction above the water level so that the roots can breathe and get oxygen. The wood from this forest is used for fuel and for building small boats. The wood get from this type of forest are used for making small boats, and it is also used as fuel, such as the palm, coconut, agar, kiora. These are the type of plants, trees found in coastal forests. And the location in India where the mangroves found is almost all the eastern coastal line, especially in the large deltas formed by river like Ganga, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. Deltas is the place, it is very wet place, marshy land it has. So in that deltas, such type of trees are grown like deltas formed by river Ganga, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. The most extensive tidal forest is in the Ganga Brahmaputra delta. Mostly tidal forests are found in the Ganga Brahmaputra delta in India. West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Goa, Kerala, Karnataka, and Andaman and Nicobar Island. And most of it is found in the West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Goa, Kerala, Karnataka, Andaman and Nicobar Island. Mangrove near the coastal region help to protect the coastline from the dashing waves. So the mangroves near the coastal regions help to protect the coastline from the dashing waves, the waves, the high waves that are coming, that are protected. And the mangroves near the coastal region help to protect the coastline from the waves. So see this palm tree and the sundari trees. These are the trees grown in this such type of places of the coastal forest. So the coastal forests, they are also known as a tidal forest. They are found in marshy, swampy estuaries and lagoons near the coastline and creeks where the climate is humid and the soil is saline. The vegetation here is known as mangrove or Sundarbans in India. The forests have developed in lowland, the land that get flooded and submerged under salty water during high tide. Mud and silt get accumulated on such coast. It is called Sundarbans. After the Sundari, the trees that grow abundantly in this region. The wood of these plants are oily, light, and durable. The roots of these plants are submerged underwater. Hollow roots grow out vertically above water so that they can breathe. The wood from this forest is used for fuel and for building small boats. Palm, coconut, agar, keora, etc. are the trees found in coastal forest. And the location, such vegetation is found almost all along the eastern coast, especially in the large deltas formed by rivers like Ganga, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. The most extensive tidal forest is in the Ganga Brahmaputra deltas, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Goa, Kerala, Karnataka, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Mangroves near the coastal region help to protect the coastline from the dashing waves. This is the picture of the palm and the sundari. We can see it is found in the coastal forest. Now the next is Himalaya forest. They are also known as mountain forests. The Himalaya forests are also known as the mountain forest. The forest in the Himalayas vary as per the height of the range, hence the type of vegetation also varies. So the forest in the Himalaya that are different as per the height of the range. So the type of vegetation also different as per the forest in Himalayas. So the forest in the Himalayas vary as per the height of the range. Hence, the type of vegetation also differs in Himalaya forest. On the snow-clad peak, many flowering plants sprouts when the snow melts. So, on the peak, there is more snowfall. So, the many flowering plants that get grow or sprouts when the snow melts. After the snow melts, what happens? The plants get proper atmosphere, and their plants grow and give flowers. They are small in height and their lifespan is about 1 or 2 months. What happens is after melting the snow from the peak, this flower plants grow. And that plant height is small and their life is also just about 1 to 2 months. So on the snow-clad peaks, many flowering plants sprout. When the snow melts, they are small in height and their lifespan is about 1 or 2 months. This is at the peak of the mountain. At the lower height, so at the lower height, what happens? This peak at the medium height, coniferous trees like pine, deodar, and fir are found. So at the medium, as we know, the Himalayas forest, we have read this, the forest in the Himalayas vary as per the height. So as per the height of the Himalayas, there is difference in the forest. So at the peak, what it happens? The snow, after melting the snow, the small plants grow and it gives flower and its lifespan is about 1 to 2 months. After coming to the lower height, at the medium of the mountain of the Himalayas, we find coniferous type of pine, deodar, and fir. This type of trees in the middle or the medium of medium at the Himalayan mountain. And at the foothills, at the ground level of the Himalayas, we find mixed forest types such as coniferous and deciduous. So at the foothills of the Himalayas, it is both the forests are found, coniferous also and deciduous type of forest. So the trees are sal tree is found in plenty in this region. So the tree named sal is found at the foothills of the Himalayas in India. So as per the height of the Himalayas, there is three types of forest and are found. At the top, at the peak of the Himalayas, many flowering plants sprout. When the snow melts, they are small in height and their lifespan is about 1 or 2 months. At the lower height than this peak, at medium height, coniferous trees like pine, deodar, and fir are found. At the foothills, at the lower Himalaya ranges, we find mixed forests, both coniferous and deciduous type of forest. Sal tree is found in plenty in this area. And the location of the Himalayan forest. These forests are mainly found in the Himalayas in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Arunachal. So it is found mostly in Himalayas in Jammu and Kashmir. As we all know, it is a Himalayan forest. So it is found in the areas of the Himalayas. So in the Himalayas in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Arunachal. So say this Himadri, middle forest, and foot. Himadri means at the top of the Himalayas, at the peak of the Himalayas. Such type of plants are grown. Himadri's name is given, see in the picture. At the top, when the snow melts, some small plants grow. It gives flowers. Very beautifully it looks. And at the middle, in the picture you can see such type of trees are grown. And at the foothills of the Himalayas. So Himalayan forests, they are also known as mountain forests. The forests in the Himalayas are very as per the height of the ranges, hence the type of vegetation also varies. On the snow-clad peak, many flowering plants sprout when the snow melts. They are small in height and their lifespan is about 1 or 2 months. At the lower height, this peak at the medium height, coniferous trees like pine, deodar, and fir are found. At the foothills, at the lower Himalayas ranges, we find mixed forests, both coniferous and deciduous type of forest. Sal tree is found in the plenty in this area. These forests are mainly found in the Himalayas in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Arunachal Pradesh. So in this way, today we have learned about the types of forest in India and the Indian vegetation. So the India major forest type are evergreen forest, deciduous forest, thorny shrubs, Himalaya forest, and coastal forest. These are the major forest type of India: evergreen forest, deciduous forest, thorny shrubs, Himalayan forest, and coastal forest. The type of forest in India, in Himalaya, according to the altitude, according to the height, I have told you about the three. The highest high altitude, seasonal flowering trees are there. In the medium altitude, coniferous trees like pine, deodar, fir, and at the foothills, it including both coniferous and deciduous type of forest. So it is of the Himalayan forest. In the highest altitude, medium altitude, foothills. Highest altitude, it is having seasonal flowering type trees, and in the medium altitude, it has coniferous trees like pine, deodar, fir, and at the foothills, it including both coniferous, deciduous type of forest. The leaves of trees in evergreen forest, broad and green. Type of wood of trees found in evergreen forest, hard, heavy, and durable. Trees having hardwood, which is heavy and durable, mahogany, rosewood, and rubber. In region, the rainfall is between 1000 mm to 2000 mm deciduous forest. Trees found in deciduous forest of India is teak, bamboo, banyan, people, etc. Region having less than 500 mm rainfall is having thorny shrubs like vegetation. Type of plants found in region having less than 50 mm rainfall is Catu, acacia, kejri, cactus, aloe vera, agave. Swampy areas, estuaries, and lagoons. These are the coastal type of vegetation. Coastal type of vegetation is called mangroves or sundarban. The wood quality of coastal vegetation is oily, light, and durable. In this way, today we have studied about the vegetation and the type of forest of India. you have any problem or doubt, you can unmute your mic and ask the question.
Students, any doubts, raise your hands. Ma'am, no one is raising their hand. Can we stop here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Thank you, students.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.